Welcome to Mr. Holloway's Foundational Java Skills series. In this video, we're going to talk about 2D arrays. But before we get started, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Class is now in session. Alright, so in the practical sense, a 2D array kind of looks like this. So this is what a 2D array would look like in the gaming world, where you have a two-dimensional object. In this case, this is Space Invaders. So you have rows and columns. Candy Crush also, you have rows and columns. So really anywhere where you have rows and columns, there's an opportunity to make a 2D array. Now let's look at what that looks like practically. But before we do that, let's look at this array. So if you remember with an array has a position. And so this number 34, 75, 49, and 14, these are what's inside of the array. And then you also have the index. So if we wanted to pick 34 out of there, we would select or write index 0. Okay, an array is a zero-based index. So it starts at 0, not 1. So this is in the 0 position. This is in the 1 position. This is what it looks like in code. So first we declare the type. We let Java know that, hey, we're going to make an array by using the opening and closing brackets. And then we name the variable, and then we can initialize it with the values. And this is what it looks like in code. All right, now let's go to a 2D array. So conceptually, this is what a 2D array looks like. So imagine instead of just a row, we have columns and rows. And we still have the index system. So this would be the 0, 0 position. This would be the 0, 1, 0, 3, I'm going to start 0, 2, and then 0, 3. So the 8, if you can guess, is at actually this would be the 1, 3. That should be 1, 3. Okay, so at the 1, 3 position. And this is what a 2D array looks like conceptually. Now let's go back into the code, and we're going to actually make one with some Java. All right, so we're going to declare an array. So the first thing we need to do is let's just declare the data type. So it's going to be an int. And with an array, we would do a single square brackets, but with a 2D array, we're going to do 2. All right, letting Java know, hey, this is going to be basically a 2D array. So I'm going to call this, we'll call it nums, and we're going to do two ways. So we're going to initialize it without the values, and then we're going to initialize it with the values. So here's what I mean. So now we're going to do a new int, and we're going to declare the size of the array. So what I need to do is, we're going to make a 3 by 3. So that's the 1 position, and this is the second basically coordinate. So what we're saying is that this is an array, and it's a 3 by 3 array. Now right now everything is empty, so there's no values in there. So just like we have with an array, we can assign values now. So what I can do is I could say num 0. So we're going to declare the 0, 0 position, and I could say 0, 0 is equal to, we could just make it 1, and I'm just going to do a few of these. I won't do all of them, but you will get the picture. All right, so we're going to have 0, 1, and then this is going to be 0, 2, and I can make this 4 or 3, and I'll make this 7. All right, so this would basically fill up the first row of numbers. All right, because this is going to be a 3 by 3. All right, now what does this exact same thing look like when we actually declare the values in the beginning, instead of just assigning the values after we've declared the variable? Well, let's look at it. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to say int, and I'm going to name this nums2. And now I'm going to declare the values right away. And we're going to make this a 3 by 3. but we're going to do it a little differently. I'm going to bring this down here because I want to show you that this will be a two-dimensional object. So watch. So let me go ahead and I'll do 1, 2, 3. All right, and then I'm going to put a comma here. Doesn't have to be that far. I'm going to do 3, 4. That should be 4, 5, and 6. And these numbers are irrelevant. I'm just doing these as an example. And then I'll do 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this is a 3 by 3 2D array. I did this so that you can actually see the dimensions. So this would be in the 0 position. So if I were to do system.out.println, I would do nums. So if I wanted to print the 0 position of, I'm sorry, let's do nums 2. And if I said 0, 0, because that's how we identify that part, it should give me 1. Let's see. And we have an error. Let me fix this. Where is the error? I think it's with my main here. All right. Yeah, I did not have a closing bracket for the main method. All right, let's run this again. And again, just being able to figure out errors quickly. These are fairly easy to figure out. All right, I have another error. Let's figure out what's going on here. So it says error cannot find symbol num. All right, it is a spelling error. These will always get you. Spelling error. So this should be nums. And I'm not even really printing out this code, but it does cause a problem. So I had a spelling error with this. All right, so again, just being able to figure out errors are really quickly are very helpful. And these are very easy errors to fix. All right, let's see if we can get this running this time. And again, we're printing out the 0 position of nums 2, and we get 1. Now, let's print out, let's see what would be, let me see if you can figure this out. What would be this 9? How could we print that? How could we get Java to tell us to print this out? I want you to think about it, and let's do that. So this is a 3 by 3, so this is 0, 1, 2, so it would be 2. So this would be 2, right? The first row, 0, 1, 2, and then 0, 1, 2. So this would be 2, 2, and we should get 9. And there it is. All right, so whenever you need to pull something out of an array in a two-dimensional array, you're going to have to basically give it 2 coordinates or 2 indexes. All right, now let me come back up here. I'm going to go ahead and comment this out because I do want to just talk about something. So right now we have a 3 by 3. We have a 3 by 3 2D array, but we don't have all of the items filled in. So it only has the values of 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to try to print a value that we don't have. And I just wanted to show you the default value. So I'm going to say nums, and I'm going to do, let's do, it's a 3 by 3, so I can do 0. Actually, we'll do 1, 0. That should be, what am I doing here? Oh, sorry. So we'll do 1, and then we'll do 0. And let's see what it gives us. It should give us 0 because we haven't filled it up yet. And we get an error because I have an extra item in there that shouldn't have been in there. All right, here we go. So nums 1, 0 should give us 0. What is going on? Oh man, I'm just not having a good day today. All right, but again, at least I'm figuring these errors out quickly. All right, so we should get 0. because there is nothing in that position, so it's 0. Okay, now the other thing I want to talk about is if this was here, let's try to print out. Let's actually do this before. All right, so let's say we were trying to find something that's not part of the array. So we know this is 3 by 3, so it's 0, 1, 2, 3. But what if I did 0, 3? I'm going to try to assign a value to 3, to the third position, or I could say the 7th position, doesn't matter. But this is not going to be a part of the array, because if you remember with arrays can only be we can only change the values. We can't resize the array. So if it's a 3 by 3, it has to stay 3 by 3. All right, so this should give us an error because there is no 0, 3 position here. And so we get an exception that says index 3 is out of bounds, and that's what we expected because there is no third position here. Okay, so in reality, let's look at just real quickly before I finish. This is what this array looks like. It looks like this. It's in practice, it would be, so we have 1, 3, and 7. Okay, and then the rest of the positions are going to be 0, 0, 0, and 0, and 0, and 0. And that's what it looks like in reality. All right, here you go. Okay, so this is what the array, what this nums array looks like at this point, because we've only assigned the values of 1, 3, and 7. The rest are actually the default values, which are 0. So when you do not assign a value to an array, the default value for an int is going to be a 0. All right, so that concludes this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video where we're going to talk about looping through an array. Class is now dismissed.